we're going to have a look at an old TV. When I say old, it's at least 10 years old, maybe 12 to 15. Let's see if it's got a date on the back. It's a Technika, which you can't see because I'm not paying attention to where the camera is actually looking. Model 32310A. It's completely dead. Now, these Technika type TVs do have a switch on them now, and the switch is here. Little rocker switch. Sometimes they go faulty. The old gentleman in question that has this TV, and it really is one of those days when you go around to someone's house and you see an old gentleman sitting in his chair, and his pride and joy, which is a TV he bought brand new 12-15 years ago, won't come on. And he freely admitted that he's literally got months to live and he just wants his TV to work. And you come away from that and you think, oh my goodness, you know, I'm moaning because I don't know if I've got time to eat my beans on toast tonight, or I'm moaning because of something else. So you come away from those sort of jobs thinking you need to get a grip sometimes. So I'd love to be able to get this working for him. The first thing I'm going to do is test voltage going in through that switch, see if it's the switch. If not, we'll have a look at the power board. But let's get the back off this and see if this is of an age now where it may not be repairable. It's no use trying to sell the customer a new TV. He's used to this remote control. He doesn't want to be trained up on a different new remote control, so we want to get this TV working if we can. Whether it means ordering a power board, if it's a power board issue that we can't repair, but let's hope that it's something we can just delve in and get him back in the next couple of days. Usually when a TV is dead, it points towards the power board. Not every time. And if it's power board, then it can be repaired or replaced. But let's see what we can do. Several screws later. Interesting to note, this one's got a built-in DVD player. And this is an LCD TV. It's not an LED TV. It's and of course it is. Unfortunately, very, very dusty, very, very dirty. Wow. Nothing obvious like the caps, but I can't see many of the caps for the dirt. So I'm just wondering if this switch has gone. So what I'm just going to do for now is plug directly into the power board and see what happens. See if that can make any difference whatsoever. But I don't know if the gentleman is a smoker or not, or if this is just dust. Let me get a lead to plug in. Seem to have plenty of leads with switches here. And what I'm looking for is a lead without a switch. That'll do for now. Oh, no it won't. This is the one. So hello, I'm being watched. Right. Good. Yeah. Just going to plug that in there like that. Plug it into my machine and see if we start taking any voltage, any amps. And we are taking nothing. That's taking absolutely nothing. So we may have a power board issue. I'm just going to test that we are actually getting some AC voltage in there. Yep, 250 volts getting in. That's a shame. That's a shame. So it looks like we have a power board issue, and I'm going to have to give that a jolly good clean before I can do anything else with it. Well, power board's had a bit of a dusting down. There's a legend here which is showing me which voltages to test. So I'll do a quick test of DC voltages. I don't think it's got anything. I really don't, but we'll have a quick test while we're here. Right, ground and ground. That one is supposed to be 5 volts. Are we plugged in? No. So that's supposed to be 5 volts and it's not. Next one up is supposed to be 5 volts and it isn't. Next one is PS on. No. Next one is ground, ground, ground. So the top two are 12 volts. Are we getting the 12 volts? No, we're getting nothing from this. Not a dicky bird. There is a fuse on this power board. It is possible that it's just burnt out from age, so I'm going to take the power board out, unscrew it. And just inspect and test the fuse. Maybe we get lucky that the fuse has gone. I'm just going to test. I don't think there'll be anything on that big cap at all. Apart from dust. See if there's any voltage on those big caps. Nothing. No. After cleaning the power board and doing a few tests on the power board, there's no voltage coming out of it whatsoever. We don't have a 5 volts, we don't have a 12 volts. So I'm going to be looking around the fuse area. I think that's probably a good place to start. It'd be nice if the fuse has just got tired. And this is the fuse here. Fuse is there. And the fuse is fine. Sadly, so I'm just going to have a look at some of the solder connections around the primary. And there are some things that aren't looking brilliant around here, so I'm just going to spend 10-15 minutes touching a few things up with the soldering iron and see what happens. I think we'll get the big weller out for this one. There's quite a few that are not looking as healthy as it possibly could. All in the primary, so going to bring out my cheap little Chinesiac voltage regulator. I've just gone round some dodgy-ish looking joints. Some were... The problem is with a power board like this that's quite dusty and old and dark and dingy, you never know. But the voltage regulator here, as cheap as it is, will tell me if there's a short on the primary side, and there isn't. Now I don't know if there's a short on the primary side before, so I've powered up the board. The board should be getting an AC voltage of about 250. Let's just have a look. 244, that'll do. So let's just switch to DC mode. That is ground, we know, and 5 volts is above it. No 5 volts. No 12 volts. So we need to go testing a bit further. So sadly, after further inspection, the resistors down here, Q1, and let's have a look. Q1 and Q3 and Q2, they've all gone short. And who knows what else they've probably taken with them. There could be several other issues on this. I'm just hoping that there's going to be a board on eBay which I can pick up relatively cheap, but we'll see. So what I've done, I popped up to my I call it a lockup, but it's also my main room for doing repairs, and just doing repairs at home at the moment during our lockdown session. I went and had a look in a cardboard box full of components for a Technika LCD. Sadly, couldn't find the power board in there. But then I noticed in a box of components marked Bush LCD, and I was looking for an inverter for an old LCD that it had the same power supply. I've got no idea if this power supply works or not. It could be another reason for it to fail. So I suddenly thought, well, that's going to save some pennies, and my intention is, because of the gentleman not being very well and he's elderly, is not to charge him, just to get it up and running and get it back to him. He does like this TV. Funnily enough, he's been on the phone a couple of times asking any updates, and I've only had the TV for 24 hours, so you can tell when the guy's keen to have... this is a 32-inch, and to him 32-inch is a big screen. At the moment, I think he's using a TV from his bedroom, which is a 22-inch. So he's slightly impatient to see if we can get it working, and the good news is that with this spare power board, which I managed to find from a Bush LCD, I do manage to get a standby light. I think the standby light is red, not too sure. And then when you press it, it goes purple, and then it goes blue. It's a multicolored LED. It took a couple of presses of the button to get the TV to actually fire up. But eventually, fire up it did, and it came on my HDMI channel, so I've just switched it to Freeview, and it's there. I'm not going to be changing anything on this because it's set just to how the customer likes it, so I don't want to go adding any channels, changing the brightness or backlight levels or anything like that. All I'm going to do now is give it a good clean, put it back together and get it back to the customer. So it was a cheap way of getting it fixed.